I'm Sean Gonsalves, news editor with the Cape Cod Times, and I'm out here today going around the Cape looking to speak to young people for our series that we're calling Generation Exit, that highlights what many demographers are saying is going to be a problem for the Cape going down the road, which is that young people are leaving, the Cape is getting older, and it's creating a real imbalance, which has a lot of economic and social impact. So even though they're not exactly easy to find, we were able to find a number of young people, and I'm here with one today at Cape Cod Broadcasting in Hyannis. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Melinda Baker, and I work for Cape Cod Broadcasting. I've worked here for almost 3 years, and I moved from Toronto, Canada, about that time as well. So 3 years ago, I moved to the Cape and got married to a Cape Codder, and I have been working here since I moved.
So you've been here for a few years now.
Yeah.
So you've got a pretty good sense of the Cape.
Yeah, I feel like I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, do you own a house or do you rent?
We rent.
You do rent.
We rent.
Okay. So, not to get too much into your personal business, but just in terms of, give us a sense of how is it? Do you find it difficult financially to make ends meet to stay here?
What I would say is we're both very fortunate and have worked really hard at our jobs, and we can pay our bills and put aside some savings and, go on a trip once a year, which is something we like to do. But in terms of saving up a large amount of money to put for a down payment and then rolling into it a brand new mortgage payment, that's something that we struggled to do, being, getting ourselves established as newlyweds pretty much still. I mean, going into 3 years. Mm-hmm. So I think that's our next major goal, and that's what we're working towards. But doing that, we've found that it's more difficult than we thought. That there is a high cost of living on the Cape.
And for you, what are the big expenses for you? I mean, other than the obvious, living, rent.
Rent, car, and utilities. Gas, electric, all that stuff is much higher than I anticipated. And even the cost of food, if you want to, depending on whether you want to buy organic or, what matters to you, our generation cares about the environment and those types of things, and that comes with a bigger price tag, so you have to pick your battles.
Now, what would you say, if you had to single out one thing, what would you say is the most difficult thing about living on the Cape as a young person?
I would say the lack of young people.
Really?
To do things with, absolutely.
So the social life, basically, right?
I think the social life and the businesses that are there to help that social life grow. Businesses that cater to younger, 25 to 34-year-olds that are at a price point that 25 to 34-year-olds can't afford, that offer something to do other than go out and drink.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I guess it would be different, obviously, if you're a married couple versus if you're single and
Absolutely.
out there looking for somebody. But even as a married couple, what's it feel like to you, the social life, or aside from the economic aspect of living here?
Well, I can say every time that we go to Boston for a concert or something show, we always go out for dinner and we sit down and we eat dinner, and I always feel, wow, it's great to be up here, but what is the difference? And the difference is all the young people that are around you in Boston. And it's just that feeling, that motivation, and being around people the same age as you with like interests where, it's just, that's the difference for me, personally.
Now, looking ahead, do you see yourself staying on the Cape for?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Like for the rest of your life, type of?
Absolutely. That's something that we decided. If I was going to move here, were we going to live on the Cape? The answer was yes. And if I was going to move all the way to Cape Cod, then we want to work really hard to stay on the Cape because it is beautiful. It has so much history. We do want to stay here and live here, and, have a family here.
What would make the Cape more attractive for young people? Or what do you think the Cape should be doing or stop doing that is either pushing young people away, or what do you think the Cape could be doing to attract more young people? Do you have any ideas or thoughts about that?
I do. I think that the Cape is a little behind in the technology, as any young person would probably, echo that sentiment. And I think having employers that care about what matters to our generation and embraces those things is going to be the only way to keep a workforce that's our age on the Cape. So somebody who's just concerned about that, middle-aged baby boomer population, those same things don't matter to me.